Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to the second lesson. Today we will speak about reflexive pronoun СЕБЕ. Or probably you could met before the forms СЕБЯ or СОБОЙ. It is all the same reflexive pronoun. By the way, if you have watched the first lesson about pronoun СВОЙ, this lesson will be extremely easy for you because the patterns are very similar for the pronoun СВОЙ, possessive pronoun, and for reflexive pronoun СЕБЯ, СЕБЕ. So, I want you to take a look to your screen and to see how actually we use this pronoun. In English, we have such word as oneself. We use it to describe a category of words that have this self and ending. It can be myself, yourself, yourselves, themselves, herself, himself, and so on. All possible forms. When in English we have these pronouns, in Russian, instead of all of them, we use just pronoun СЕБЕ. So it is one pronoun to interchange all of these words. Just СЕБЕ or its different forms. So if you again watched the previous lesson, you remember this animal, chameleon, this animal who changes its colors according to surrounding. And this pronoun СЕБЕ is kind of this animal in linguistics, because in the sentence it can play the role of the pronoun that we need. It can be used instead myself, yourself, himself, herself, and so on. Let's just see a couple examples. I will read them from my computer, but you can see them here. Я купила это платье себе. How would you translate this sentence? Я купила это платье себе. I bought this dress like to myself. Yeah? So in English we will say myself. If we have oneself, we use pronoun себе. Он приготовил ужин для себя. Он приготовил ужин для себя. He cooked a dinner for himself. Вы заказали пиццу себе. Вы заказали пиццу себе. So you have ordered, or you ordered a pizza for yourself. Они очень гордятся собой. Они очень гордятся собой. Гордятся, it's like proud. To be proud of. Гордиться кем-то. So they are very proud of themselves. Она работает на себя. She works like on herself. It means that she is kind of freelance, yeah? Она работает на себя. Я работаю на себя. Он работает на себя. By the way, you can see that I speak about different people now, but I always use себя. So how we can understand about whom we are speaking when we use this reflexive pronoun? We will find it out soon. Let's go to the next slide. And here you can see a table with all cases of personal pronouns. What is personal pronouns? It's я, ты, он, она, они, мы, right? Instead, which we can use this reflexive pronoun СЕБЕ. You can see all their possible forms. And an example. I see myself in the mirror. Я вижу себя в зеркале. So why do I write this pronoun together with this table? Because you could translate this sentence as я вижу меня в зеркале. Да? I see like me in the mirror. But the same as in English, we do not say I see me, we say I see myself. The same in Russian, we will say я вижу себя, but not меня. So you can see that себя interchanges pronoun меня, which is я in accusative case. And actually, this pronoun will be changed by the same pattern as pronoun ты in formal you. Yeah? So you can see in the table bold lines тебя, тебе, тобой, о тебе, right? And the same with the pronoun себя. Себя, себе, себя, собой, о себе. Yeah, so the endings are absolutely equal to cases of pronoun ты. But you can see that pronoun себе do not have nominative case. So actually it means that this pronoun cannot be a subject of the sentence. It cannot be used in nominative case. It can be only an object. Yeah? Why it happens? The same as in previous lesson, we discussed that we should have a person, a subject of the sentence. It can be noun or personal pronoun, and this oneself who is connected, who represents the action of this personal pronoun or noun. You will see it in examples. Let's read. Мы купили для себя машину. Мы купили для себя машину. How would you translate this sentence? We bought a car for ourselves. So для себя we understand what it means by the context, because in this sentence we have a personal pronoun мы, right? Мы купили для себя. It means that we bought for ourselves. We understand that this is actually ourselves, because we have personal pronoun мы, and it helps us to understand for whom it is. Because if I say мы купили эту машину для тебя, it will mean that we bought this car for you. But if it is for us actually, then it should be reflexive pronoun себя. Он купил себе квартиру. He bought an apartment like to himself. Он купил себе квартиру. We understand that себе is connected with он. So he bought for himself. If it would be она купила квартиру себе, себе would be connected with она, and we would translate to English as she bought an apartment for herself. Я вижу себя в зеркале. We just had this example. Yeah, I can see myself in the mirror. Они гордятся собой. They are proud of themselves. Они гордятся собой. Она думает только о себе. Она думает только о себе. So she thinks only about herself. As you can see, себе is always connected with this personal pronoun, or it can be noun instead of it. Also, in these examples, you can see pronoun себе in all 5 possible cases. Мы купили для себя машину. This is genitive case. For ourselves. We have preposition для, so this is genitive case. Он купил себе квартиру. He bought an apartment like to himself. This is dative case. Кому он купил квартиру? Себе. For himself, yeah? Or to himself. The next one. Я вижу себя в зеркале. I see myself in the mirror. Себя, this is accusative case, because this is an object which I see. Я вижу себя. Они гордятся собой. We know that after the verb гордиться, we should use instrumental case. And that is why we say собой. This is instrumental case. Они гордятся собой. They are proud of themselves. Она думает только о себе. Here we have preposition about. She thinks only about herself. And that is why we use prepositional case. So you can see that we can use this pronoun, reflexive pronoun себя, себе in different cases according to the context that we have. Once again, let's take a look to the rule. The reflexive pronoun себе invariably refers to the performer of the action. So this is what I told you. This oneself should be connected with the subject of a sentence. If it's I do something myself, he is doing something himself. You see, these parts should be connected. Otherwise, we cannot use the reflexive pronoun. Let's read examples. I bought myself a book. Я купил, for men or women will say, я купила себе книгу. Now, when you know the rule of using of this pronoun, you can say, and you can translate this sentence, that in English it will be I bought myself a book. That себе means actually myself. We understand it from the context of this sentence, because we have pronoun я. Я купила себе. But if we have another object to whom we buy this book, like I bought you a book, we will say я купила тебе книгу. If you need to say I bought you a book, you will never say я купила себе книгу, because себе will be always connected with pronoun я, right? The next example. He is proud of himself and he is proud of her. Different objects of his pride. So, он гордится собой. Here we understand that собой is connected to он. So, he is proud of himself. And он гордится ей. Maybe it's his daughter. Он гордится ей. Here we cannot say собой, because собой means like of himself. But he's proud of her. So, we just use a normal personal pronoun in instrumental case. Ей. Он гордится ей. The third example. They should think about themselves and they should think about you. Они должны подумать о себе, они должны подумать о вас. Да? So in the first sentence, they should think about themselves, они о себе. Да? And in the second, they think about you. Они должны подумать о вас. Да? So I hope you can feel now this difference. And we go to cases. So actually I wanted to give you examples of this pronoun, reflexive pronoun себе, in different cases, so you could see how actually we use it in practice. Он купил этот дом для себя. Себя is genitive case. Why we use it? Because we have preposition для, for. He bought this house for himself. Он купил этот дом для себя. And we understand that себя means himself, because we have personal pronoun он. Он купил для себя. Она хочет всегда держать сына возле себя. This is a story about some mommy who doesn't want to let her son go to an adult life, yeah? So, она хочет всегда держать сына возле себя. We understand that возле себя, near herself, it means herself, because we have she. Она хочет держать сына возле себя. And this is a genitive case, because we have pronoun, not pronoun, preposition возле, near, which is always used in genitive case. Они сняли с себя всю ответственность. Pay attention to pronunciation. Себя, we like say long s. Они сняли с себя всю ответственность. Снять с себя ответственность, it's like set expression. It means to disclaim the responsibility. And we always use it with this pronoun себя. Снять с себя. So we always say subject, они, он, мы, ты. And then we say снял с себя ответственность или всю ответственность, like all the responsibility. Yeah? So in this set expression we use себя, and the subject should be connected with this себя. Я сняла с себя всю ответственность. I disclaim like my responsibility, yeah? Он снял с себя всю ответственность. He disclaimed all the responsibility, and so on. The next one. Кого ты оставишь на должности вместо себя? Like whom, да? Whom will you leave at the position instead of yourself? We have preposition вместо, which is typical for genitive case, and that is why we say вместо себя, да? Instead of yourself. Ты вместо себя. We have the pronoun which helps us to understand how to translate себя. And the last example, in genitive case, они должны убирать после себя. Like they should clean, да, after themselves. With preposition после we use genitive case, and that is why после себя we use in genitive case, да? And we understand that they should clean after themselves. Они после себя. The next case, dative case. Я купила этот телефон себе. So I bought this telephone like to myself, да? Я себе. It's connected. Она купила себе новую сумку. So she bought herself a new bag. Она себе. Да? We always understand to which pronoun or sometimes noun the pronoun себе will be connected. It's reflexive. It always depends on the subject, yes? So you will always in Russian understand how to translate the sentence. Ты должен пообещать себе быть умнее. Да, you should promise to yourself to be more clever, to be smarter. Да, пообещать себе. Very often we use this like phrase. Обещать себе. To promise to yourself. Он слишком строг к себе. So he is too strict to himself. Он слишком строг к себе. After preposition к, we use dative case. Себе. And the last one. Они заказали себе машину на AliExpress. Да, so they ordered themselves the car on AliExpress. Which is not very wise, I think. But let's go on. The next case, accusative case. Я вижу себя в зеркале. We already had this sentence. Я вижу себя в зеркале, да. I see myself. А коты видят себя в зеркале? Коты видят себя в зеркале? Или собаки видят себя в зеркале? This is an example where when actually we have not a personal pronoun, не он, она, они, да, but a noun, коты or собаки, да, and we understand that себя is connected to this subject, to коты or to собаки. Коты видят себя. Do the cats see themselves? Or а собаки видят себя? Do the dogs see themselves in the mirror? Так, она слишком себя любит. It's like she loves herself too much. Да? Она слишком себя любит. Он винит себя в неудаче. Он винит себя в неудаче. So he blames himself in this like failure of something. Через 5 лет он видит себя начальником. So in 5 years he sees himself as a boss, big boss, да, начальником. Very often on the interviews people can ask you a question like how do you see yourself in 5-10 years? But this yourself, it will be translated as себя, да? Кем вы видите себя через 5 или 10 лет? The next case is instrumental case, and the examples are: пациент разговаривает сам с собой. This is the structure that probably you need to remember. Сам с собой. Here we have additional word сам, да? And it means that the patient is talking to himself. When a person just having a conversation with himself, we say говорить сам с собой, да? Он говорит сам с собой. Я иногда говорю сама с собой, да? Sometimes when I'm, I don't know, going to go somewhere, yeah, making makeup, I can say something to myself just to remind that I need to do something. But this is the moment, когда я говорю сама с собой. The next one. Он очень гордится собой. As I told you already, the verb гордиться, to be proud of, always will be used with instrumental case. Он очень гордится собой. He is very proud of himself. Она взяла с собой зонт и плащ. So she took with herself, literally, an umbrella and a coat. Она взяла с собой. This взять с собой, принести с собой are very popular in the Russian language. You can hear it in the conversations very often. Взять что-то с собой. Возьми с собой зонт, возьми с собой шапку, возьми с собой шарф. Or я принесла с собой торт, да? So I brought, like, with myself a cake. It's a very popular structure. Я возьму этот чемодан с собой в путешествие. Я возьму с собой, да? I will take it with me, with myself, we say in Russian. Я возьму этот чемодан с собой в путешествие. And because we have preposition с, it is instrumental case, of course. Я поставлю этот цветок за собой. Preposition за in the meaning behind demands instrumental case. That is why собой, да? I will put this plant or flower, this one, за собой, like behind me, okay? And the last case that we have is prepositional case, and here we have these examples. Ты думаешь только о себе. Ты думаешь только о себе. So you think only about yourself. Ты о себе. Again, we have very strict composition. Yeah, always the subject is connected to this object, which is expressed by reflexive pronoun себе. In any case. Он редко рассказывает о себе. But here in both sentences we have preposition о, which is about. Actually, we say it like а, because normally prepositions in Russian are not stressed, and all о we say like а, да? О себе. Ты думаешь только о себе. Он редко рассказывает о себе. Да? So if you want to sound natural, I recommend you to use this rule of reduction. So, the next example. Они очень уверены в себе. This is also like the idiom, the phrase that you need to remember. Быть уверенным в себе, да? To be confident in yourself. It's literally how it's translated, да? To be self-confident. To be confident in yourself. Они очень уверены в себе means that they are really confident, like in themselves. Сначала я попробую это на себе. This sentence without context sounds a little bit strange, but still we can say it like this. So at first I will try it on me, on myself, да? Сначала я попробую это на себе. Maybe some cosmetics. And the last one. Мы совсем забыли о себе. We absolutely forgot about ourselves. So in any case, as you can see, we have this strict dependence of pronoun себе on the subject of the sentence. This is what you need to remember. Now let's practice a little bit. So I want you to take a pen and notebook and write down translations of the sentences that you can see here. I recommend you to stop the video and write translations just by yourself and then to check them with me. It will be more efficient than if you just will watch how I will do it. So you can stop the video and in just a couple seconds we will continue. Okay, I hope you have done what I told you, and now let's see the examples and work on them together. He told me an interesting story about himself. We have himself, and we already know that if we have oneself, we translate it as СЕБЯ. We just need to choose the correct case, right? So, he told me an interesting story about himself. We have about, so this is prepositional case. Он рассказал мне интересную историю о себе. Right? О себе, about himself. I looked around myself and there was no one. How to say it? Я посмотрела вокруг, да? Вокруг себя, around myself, да? Я посмотрела вокруг себя, и там никого не было. Remember that in Russian we have double negation, да? Никого не было. There was no one. Okay? So, вокруг себя, around myself. It is genitive case because after вокруг, preposition вокруг, it demands genitive case. Она купила этот торт для себя. Да? So, she bought this cake for herself. Она для себя. Для себя, after preposition для, is genitive case. He ordered himself sushi. Он заказал to whom? Кому? Себе sushi. This is dative case. Он себе. And the last one, they will take an umbrella with themselves. This structure that I told you. Они возьмут с собой зонт. Возьмут с собой. They will take with themselves. The same as in previous lesson, if you watched it again. If you didn't, I recommend you to watch the lesson number 1 about pronoun свой. There we discussed imperative mood. And we told that in imperative mood, it shouldn't be connection between pronoun себе and the subject of the sentence. Why? Because actually when we say the sentence in imperative mood, we do not have subject. What is imperative mood? It is when you tell somebody to do something, or you ask him to do something, or you give him an order, do something, yeah, we say, read this book, or bring something to me, yeah, so this is imperative mood. And when we use it, we always understand to whom we give this order, or whom we ask for a favor, to do something. So that is why we always know that this can be or ты or вы, да, formal or informal you. And that is why we do not need a subject. You can see examples. Расскажите о себе. Tell about yourself. For example, you come to the interview and they tell you, tell about yourself. Расскажите о себе. Yeah? So this is when you understand that себе means like about yourself. Да? Tell us about yourself. Расскажите нам о себе. Then other examples. Подумай о себе. Think about yourself. Подумай о себе, пожалуйста. Or купи себе мотоцикл. Maybe some husbands would love to hear this phrase from their wives. When wives say, oh, купи себе мотоцикл, дорогой, да? Buy yourself a motorcycle. Приготовь для себя ужин. This phrase husbands would not like to hear, I think. Приготовь для себя ужин, да? Cook a dinner for yourself. As you can see, in all sentences with imperative mood, we just have, we do not have a subject, we just have reflexive pronoun СЕБЕ, but we absolutely perfectly understand what it means, да? How to translate it to English, how to understand this sentence, because we know that it is directed to us, or when you say it, you know to whom it is directed, and you know that the person will understand you. Будь собой. This is a phrase that we quite often use, especially when we speak about psychology or just real life, when a person tries to be similar to someone else and we just say to him «Будь собой», just be yourself, да? «Будь собой» или «Будьте собой» if it is formal communication. Возьми с собой зонт. Take an umbrella with you. Убери в кухне после себя, да? So, clean in the kitchen after yourself. Убери в кухне после себя. We do not say normally after you will finish your dinner. It's too long sentence, да? We will not say like убери в кухне после того, как ты закончишь ужин. Well, we can say like this, but normally in conversations we try to say phrases as short as it's only possible. And that is why we would say убери после себя. Or sometimes people say убери за собой. It's also possible. Давай расскажем о себе. It's another form of imperative mood when we offer some other person to do something together. Let's tell about ourselves. Here it's not already yourself, it's ourselves, because I tell it to my friend who is sitting right here. I tell him, let's tell about ourselves. Давай расскажем о себе. And me and he will understand what I mean by this СЕБЯ, right? And people around us will understand, because this is also imperative mood. Or another example, давай купим себе новый диван. I can say to my husband, давай купим себе новый диван. It will mean that let's buy a new sofa for ourselves. Okay? I hope this is clear. Now let's practice a little bit. You have again the sentences which you need to translate to Russian. I again recommend you and I insist, so you need to stop the video and translate it. Write down your translation and then we will do it together. You will see the correct answers. So now the correct answers. I hope that you do stop the video, because without this poses looks really strange. So, please take me with yourself, or with you maybe in English you will say, but I write it how it should sound in Russian. Пожалуйста, возьми меня с собой. For example, I want to go with my husband to some conference, and I will tell him, пожалуйста, возьми меня с собой, да, вот, bring me with yourself, take me with yourself. No, we like say take, but we mean like, let's go together somewhere. Buy yourself a coffee. Купи себе кофе. Купи себе кофе. Tell about yourself. Расскажи о себе. Do it for yourself. Sorry. Сделай это для себя. Here we use perfective form. Сделай, because maybe we speak about some one-time action. So, сделай это для себя. Let's order a pizza for ourselves. Another form of imperative mood. And we say, давай закажем пиццу для себя. Да? Для себя, for ourselves. Okay, so I hope the topic is clear. So once again, if you have oneself and you have a subject of sentence, you use СЕБЯ in correct case. Case you define by the context, yeah, by another words in the sentence. You can use СЕБЯ without any subjects in imperative mood, but also you will need to remember some set expressions and phrases in which we just have to use reflexive pronoun СЕБЯ. in different forms. And it's better to remember actually these structures than just try to translate them every time and making mistakes with translating. You just need to remember them how they are. It's like phrasal verbs in English, the same in Russian. So, you can see on your screen. Вести себя. For example, I can say, моя собака плохо себя ведет. I can change the word order. Вести себя, себя вести. So, моя собака плохо себя ведет. It means that my dog behaves bad. Вести себя is to behave. Or я не знаю, как вести себя в театре. Да? I do not know how to behave in the theater. Привести себя в порядок. It means like to clean up, or in any situation when you look not good or maybe you feel bad, да, and people can tell you приведи себя в порядок, да. It means like just go do something so you could look better. Yeah, it's not always bad meaning, so it depends really on situation. The next one, чувствовать себя. Да, but in Russian we always use this phrase to feel with reflexive pronoun СЕБЯ. It means, normally we use this phrase about health state or emotional state. We can ask, как ты себя чувствуешь? Or как вы себя чувствуете? How do you feel? For example, if someone is ill, you can call to this person and ask, как ты себя чувствуешь сегодня? How do you feel today? Is it better? Тебе лучше? Да? So that in this situation, or somebody was worried too much, and you can ask him again, как ты себя чувствуешь? Ты чувствуешь себя лучше? Do you feel better now? Да? But, so чувствовать себя, it's about emotional or physical state. Следить за собой, it's like to look after yourself. Very often women use this idiom, this set expression. So, for example, его мама всегда следит за собой. It means that his mother always looks good. She's always caring how she looks, what she wears, what is her makeup, I don't know, hairstyle, and so on, да? So this is следить за собой, да? To be aware and to do something to look good for another people. Быть не в себе. This is like to be beside oneself, yeah, so it's like literally to be not in yourself, да? To be not in your own plate. So it's like when a person behaves differently, like he shouldn't behave, we can say that он не в себе. This verb быть, in present tense, of course, it will be omitted. Он сейчас не в себе. He is not like in himself right now, да? So he behaves strange. Or in past tense it will be он был не в себе. Или он будет не в себе, когда он узнает эту новость. So he will be like beside himself when he will find out this news. The next one, very similar to this one, is выйти из себя. So actually, when you are не в себе, you are already like beside yourself. А выйти из себя, it's like the moment when you lose your temper, да? Он вышел из себя, да? He lost his temper. He started, I don't know, crying, shouting, beating someone, да? Он вышел из себя. So he behaves bad. And the opposite meaning is взять себя в руки. Взять, to take. Себя, yourself, в руки, in your hands. Да, you can remember this like this. Взять себя в руки. You can even repeat it with me now to remember it better and say it out loud. Взять себя в руки. Да? So it's like to pull yourself together, yeah? So when you feel not good, you feel strange, but then you say, okay, stop. Мне нужно взять себя в руки. I need to pull myself together, да? Мне нужно взять себя в руки. Или возьми себя в руки, if it's imperative mood. Pull yourself together. Возьми себя в руки. And become behaving normally. The next one. Не находить себе места. Very often it's used about people who are worrying too much, who are nervous, да, кто нервничает, переживает. So about them, we can say, они не находят себе места. Literally it means they cannot find a place for themselves. Да? To be restless. It can be translated to English as to be restless. То есть не находить себе места is really to worry. For example, you're in the hospital waiting for the news about some of your relative from the doctors, и ты не находишь себе места, да, вот literally, very often people even cannot sit on one place in such hard situations, да, they walk there and back, вот не находит себе места, cannot find the place where he can sit and be calm, да, that is why we use this phrase. Читать про себя. This is the phrase that you just need to remember. Читать про себя. It doesn't mean to read about yourself. It means to read silently. Very often in the school we say, сейчас мы читаем про себя. It means that children need to read silently. Or the opposite is читать вслух. Вслух it's to read loud, да, with voice. Про себя it is silently. Быть самим собой, we already had it in examples. To be yourself, самим собой. But this самим, it's additional word in this phrase, which makes it more strong, yeah, stronger. So we can say будь собой or будь самим собой. The meaning is the same, just with the word самим, it's like more strong structure. Сам по себе, it's like by oneself or in itself. Very often we use it about animals, cats, да? Кошки гуляют сами по себе. Да? So cats, they don't depend on anyone. So to be, быть сам по себе, it means not depend on anyone else. Да? To do everything like you want, like you do it in your own way. And cats, they normally are very independent, and about them we very often say кошка гуляет сама по себе. And the last structure is used with dative case, so we use the subject in dative case, plus we say не по себе. For example, I can say мне не по себе. It means that I feel uncomfortable. In any meaning, about health, about emotions, about absolutely anything. For example, you go inside of a scary building that was left many years ago, like in horror movies, and you say, мне как-то не по себе, да? So because it's like scary, it's uncomfortable, and you say, мне не по себе. Now let's practice a little bit. We have a test. You have sentences in Russian and need to open brackets and choose the correct word. So again, I ask you to stop the video, answer, and then we will check it together. I will just read the correct answers. Probably I will read you now these sentences and just help you to translate them, so you can do it right now to make your choice. So, моя собака сегодня плохо ведет. My dog today behaves bad. Ты выглядишь ужасно. Приведи в порядок. You look awful. Just clean yourself up. Make yourself look better. Моя подруга плохо чувствует. У нее болит голова. So my friend feels bad. She has a headache. У нее болит голова. Я набрала 3 килограмма. Мне нужно лучше следить за... So I ну, набрать 3 килограмма, it's like to take, да, to have more kilograms, да, so to make more plump. Вот, я набрала 3 килограмма. And I need to look better, like, after myself, да, so I need to think about my shape. The next one. Кажется, он немного слишком нервный. It seems like he's like not in his plate, да, he's too nervous. Когда ребенок разбил вазу, его мать просто вышла из и начала кричать. So when a kid broke a vase, his mother just went out of herself and she started shouting. The next slide. We continue the exercise. Если ты хочешь хорошо сдать экзамен, ты должен взять в руки. So if you want to pass an exam, you need to pull yourself together. Пациент наконец-то пришел в после операции. So the patient at last is like become conscious after the operation, the surgery. The next example. Он так волнуется перед презентацией, что не находит места. So he is so nervous before the presentation that he just cannot find a place for himself. Человек не должен быть похожим на кого-то, он должен быть самим. So a person shouldn't be similar to somebody, he just should be himself or herself. Кошки — это независимые животные, они гуляют сами по... So cats are independent animals and they just walk by themselves. And the last one, мне здесь не по... So I feel here uncomfortable. So make your choice. And now you see the correct answers, so you can check yourself. Right now we do not have much time, so that is why I offer you to stop the video and check the answers that you have given. Bold variants, they are correct. So now let's just repeat. Well, the reflexive pronoun СЕБЕ is used in those situations when in English we have oneself, myself, himself, herself, and so on. It doesn't have nominative case, but it has all other 5 cases, and it's changed the same way by cases as personal pronoun ты. It always should go together with the subject expressed like by personal pronoun or a noun, да? And then we understand how to translate this СЕБЕ. In imperative mood, you understand to whom you speak, and that is why you don't need the subject. You can just use СЕБЕ. And of course there is a list of set expressions that you need to learn, that we have just practiced, and you need to remember those phrases. And now we have the last test for this lesson. Again, you need to choose correct variant. I will help you just to translate the sentences. Эту машину моя мама купила для... So this car, my mom bought this car, да, for herself. Он слишком много говорит о... So he speaks about himself too much. Вчера я плохо чувствовал. Yesterday I felt bad, maybe about health. Я редко сам готовлю ужин. So I rarely cook myself a dinner. Его собака часто ведет плохо. So his dog often behaves bad. Тебе нужно больше думать о... You need more think about yourself. Возьми обед на работу. Like take a lunch to your work. with you. Мне всегда не по на крышах. I always feel uncomfortable on the roofs. Посмотри на ты отлично выглядишь. Look at you. You're great. You look great, yeah? So, now just stop the video and make your answers. And then we will check yourself. So here you can see the answers. Again, stop the video and check your answers. The last thing that I want to tell is that I ask you to make notes from this lesson, to repeat all the exercises that we had couple times, and to write at least 20 your own examples about this topic. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next lesson. Удачи и пока!